Yes, lads. How are we all doing? Happy flipping Friday. I almost swore there. Happy Friday. How are we all doing? How are we all doing? Oh, lads, this is a good weekend. I've bought it, went and paid for it. Do you know what, right? I bet and bought Crawford Spence, obviously. So this is the first time doing TNT pay-per-view. Obviously it was BT Sport before, but they're charging pay-per-view, and obviously, in the UK it's 19.99. In Ireland, it's €30. €30 Spence Crawford cost over here. Worth it. Like, it will be worth it. I obviously haven't got there yet, but it will be. Lads, I'm looking forward to this fight. I can't lie. I think it's going to be fantastic. I think it's going to be very entertaining. I'm really looking forward to it. Obviously, if you hear, chances are you watched the prediction video. I'm going with Terence Crawford to win the fight on points. I'm going with him to win the fight on points. Excuse me for 1 sec. I literally woke up this morning and my throat is so dry. It's been like that all day. I have no idea why. I woke up this morning and it's not sore, but it was so dry. So I kind of get that feeling like, oh, I need some water. But I'm going with Crawford to win this fight on points. Right? I don't think we'll see a stoppage. And I'm going to be quite honest, right? I think if there is a stoppage, I would probably favor Crawford to get the stoppage over Spence. I would probably favor him to do it. I don't think there will be. And a lot of people are saying that they can see a stoppage, they can envision it. When you're talking about welterweight and the upper echelons of that division, and kind of in around that weight category, light welter, 154, 160, when you're talking about the best versus the best at those weight divisions, it's very seldom. Now, you might get dropped or something like that, but it's very, very seldom you see those top level fights end by knockout. Because you're normally talking about two guys who are equally skilled, or certainly equally skilled in their own way, and normally their defense is on point enough that they can, even if they lose, they can get through a fight relatively unscathed. Well, obviously they're going to take some shots, but normally at that level, you tend not to see stoppages a lot of the time. Yeah, there are obviously exceptions, and this may very well be one of them. But judging by welterweight history, you normally don't tend to see stoppages. You normally don't, at this level. Anyway, so that's why I'm going with Crawford to win on points. Well, obviously, there's a lot more reasons. But that's the reason why I think the method of victory will be points. But I'm looking forward to it. I really am. I'm really, really, really excited. I'm hyped for it. And I think it's because it's a fight that I've looked forward to for many, many years now. It's a fight that I've said even when, heavyweight undisputeds and all were there. And, they were being talked about anyway. It was still a fight that I wanted to prioritize. I wanted to see, and now we have it. So I'm very, very happy with this fight. And I don't doubt it's going to be a good fight. I really don't. I don't think we're going to. My only worry is I hope we don't talk about this fight in an aftermath video and say the wrong guy won, or there was corruption, or there was something going awry. I really hope that doesn't come into it. I hope that it's just going to be a really good fight and that whoever wins absolutely deserves it. There'll always be people saying that I thought my guy won or whatever, but let's just hope that they are kind of like the Fury fanboys who say Fury is trying to fight everyone, but no one will fight him. Those guys. Let's hope if they're the only people who are saying whoever guy won, then that's fine. We don't take them too serious. But that's what I'm hoping for this fight. And look, maybe this fight will be the catalyst for things to come, and we can see the best fight the best more often than not. So that's exactly what I'm hoping. I think there's a good chance we might get that. Obviously, I think Ryan Garcia, Tank Davis has helped a lot, because I think that this is showing promoters in the States that, yes, we can work together and we can get these fights over the line. So, look, I'm very optimistic about this. I'm hopeful. And I have it in the thumbnail. It's, what do the fans think? So I really am interested to know, because from what I've seen across social media, it seems that the majority, and the majority just means more than 50%. The majority seem to be running with Terence Crawford. I'd like to know in the comment section or in the live chat how many of you guys, who you're going with, method of victory, etc. and also why. Let's get to the chat. So JD says, salute to you, my man. Buongiorno. Bonjour to EA Wave. Philip Pagey, man, excited for Spence Crawford this weekend. I absolutely am. Oh, yes, and I must mention, we are doing a live watch along. I need to figure out with regards time-wise when to go live. Well, I'll be staying up all night for it, but I don't want to do a live watch along that goes mad over 2 hours. And I'll tell you why, because YouTube doesn't like that. The algorithms don't like really long lives. They don't like that. So I think kind of 2 hours is the kind of sweet spot thereabouts. But if you're going into the 3 hours and God forbid 4 hours, you got problems. Well, not big problems, but you'll have the algorithms don't like that. So I don't want to do a crazy long live. So I'm going to try and hit in with like the co-main and the main. Hey G man, many off 12k. I'll tell you now, because it's been going good today. We are 11,951, so exactly 49 subs off 10k. Or sorry, 12k. What am I saying? 10k. We hit 10k back in January. Yeah, exactly 49 subs needed for 12k. So we should get it this weekend, hopefully, because I've been doing a lot lately. Have to say, a New Way versus Fulton helped out a lot. But the growth has been really, really consistent over the last couple of months. You know, there's not been a month where I haven't hit about 200 subs. So it's been real good, real consistent. May it stay like that. So we need to get 49 by the end of the weekend. Sure, we can do that. Surely we can do that. Like, it should be straightforward enough. And Shower G, yeah, I've already said Crawford on points. Big up, you top dog of swords. Yeah, big up to swords. Won't be me home for that much longer, but it's still, well, it'll always be my home, but hopefully not much longer. Hopefully the next few months we can, different background, different city, and your boy will be at a lot more of these shows, hopefully. Got Crawford on points, all right. These big fight feels nothing better than this. I know, yeah, it's great, isn't it? When a big fight comes around and everyone is excited and it's reached the fans over on this side of the pond as well. It's got their excitement. There's just nothing better in it. It's brilliant. Bud by murder. Oh, interesting. Weird one, but rank your top 5 pound for pounds when it comes to fighters' mentality in approaching a fight. That's interesting. That's interesting. You would say that like it wouldn't be too dissimilar. Like I don't do pound for pound, as you may know. That's why I never really mention pound for pound when it comes to a new way and people like that. But you would say that when you look at many people's pound for pound lists, it wouldn't be too dissimilar because a lot of these guys have very strong mentality when approaching the fight. You know, Crawford does, Usyk does, you know, a new way. A lot of these guys have a very, very strong mentality when it comes to approaching the fight. They're very strong mentally. It's one of the reasons why they're able to get so far. You know, you'll often find that fighters who are a bit mentally fragile, because of their skill, they can ascend to a certain point, but it's really those who are stoic and just they don't give nothing away and they go into it full of confidence. They're the ones who really excel and have longevity with that. We don't know how either guy will handle each other's power. One of many things we can simply can't predict. That's a good point. It's a very good point. Excuse me. Off topic, but Allen fighting Frazier is a joke. Yeah, it's a horrible fight. I just like what? I don't like it, but what can you do? I mean, they obviously got the checkbook out. Ben Shalom did. And, you know, I'd much rather see Clark versus Wadley than this, but it is what it is. You know, with Dave Allen, I mean, I just don't really, I don't want to see him get his brains splattered or his brains turned to mush. It's not already close to that. And I'm not excited for it because I know what I'm going to get with Dave Allen. It's always been that way. I mean, this is a guy, and you know, you got a big Eddie Hearn up for this. This is a guy who had Eddie Hearn as his promoter, who was trying his damnedest, giving him opportunities that in many ways he didn't deserve or earn. And every single time he just would come up not in shape or just didn't throw point. You know, that really, for me, Dave Allen is what he is. And I just don't want to see a guy get hurt or have long-term damage. Brandon's going with Spence. Yeah, skyboxing ain't great. It really ain't. It's a, you know, It is that. Like, it's forgettable. That's the best way you can describe it. I mean, if you go back and you look at some of the cards, let's say we have Liam Smith versus Chris Eubank, the first fight. That undercard was forgettable. Kell Brook versus Errol Spence, or Kell Brook versus Amir Khan, forgettable. Like, these cards are so forgettable. Probably lines up with it would. Anyways, levels above Ryan Garcia, but I can see Ryan replicating that style that Inoue has, natural attributes. Interesting. It's a good one. You believe Crawford wins? Oh, it's a genuine 50-50. There's no doubt about that. Yeah, I see most people say Crawford. I think Spence will win, dude, due to work rate, and power. I wouldn't bet on it, though. Yeah, it's a close one. It's a close-knit fight. A lot of people are saying, it's 50-50. They think Crawford will win, but they're really on the edge, really on the fence. Yo, G-Man, I got bulled by knockout. 6 rounds, really? In the first half of the fight. Interesting. Well, what night is it on? Because show me, I'm not really a big UFC fan. I'm trying to get more into it. But there's a Frank Warren card on tomorrow in Telford. Jason Cunningham is headlining, and I'll be tuning into that, definitely. I can't pick, and the more I think about it, the less positive I get, thinking in circles. Yeah, I watched enough of them the last few weeks, and I could not envision anyone other than Crawford winning this fight. 51-49, it's a close fight. Either winner wouldn't shock me. Yeah, it's not going to be a shock either way, certainly not. How high in weight do you think Inoue could go? That's a good question. I'm going to say he'll top out at 135. I'm going to say that he's going to top out at that. That doesn't necessarily mean he'll be successful at 135, but I'd say he'll top out at that. Yeah, it's, and I haven't checked the odds, but I can't envision either guy being such a massive underdog that it'd be worth slapping a cheeky fiver on. I can't envision that. I would say that the odds are going to be razor close. I honestly haven't even checked the odds because I can't envision either guy. I can envision both guys being very close to the odds. Big up to Nick every single time. Big up G-Man in the chat. Smash the like button. If you could, lads. There's 70 of you in the building, and we need to get the like button smashed big time. How many likes we got? We had 29 likes, and there's 70 of you guys in the building. There's 70 of you guys in the building. Come on. Smash the old like button. Crawford UD. God for Crawford by KO. That's mad. Like, people saying, Crawford KO. I doubt it. Tank will probably have moved up by then. I think he would, I think he'd handle him just fine, mate. I think if he decides to jump up a load of weight divisions, I think that I would be fairly confident picking him over Campbell Hatton. I don't even think Ricky would pick Campbell over him. Crawford by KO round 9 or 10. Interesting. Owen Griffins, I should say, love the content. Thank you, my man. Hope you're keeping well. Crawford for Gary. It's usually the fighters like Usyk who are the most humble that are really good. They let the skills do the talking. Exactly. Anyway, gets hit with a right hand by Fulton later on. Don't know how we take them at a higher weight. Well, Inoue is showing a pretty good shit. As far as I'm concerned, if you're taking shots from underneath the air at 118, and yeah, you're getting rocked, but I mean, he flattens people. I'm curious why you think Crawford will win the early rounds when he's notorious for losing the opening rounds of his last several fights. What makes you think it'd be different? I think it's going to be cagey on both ends, and I think Crawford will just maybe get working a little bit faster. Maybe we'll land an eye-catching counter here and there. Who do you think there could be some pre-filled? Oh, do you think there'll be some pre-filled? I hope not, man. With AJ's personality, I don't know him that well. I can only say by what I've seen. And by what I've seen, look, if I got to know him, if I spent time with him, I might think, oh, his personality is amazing. But I can only say by what I've seen. I'm sure there are other methods you can use to get the fight, mate. I'm sure there are loads of other methods you can use. I would always just go down the road of the old down the river team. You know what I'm talking about there? Wonder who Chisora is fighting on Joshua's card. Didn't he say it in America? I didn't even. There was a rumor that it was going to be Dave Allen. But that's obviously gone to pieces. Spence has a better chin. Crawford's chin never really been tested. But you could say the real same about Errol Spence. Yeah, he's took a few shots from Kell Brook and people like that, but has he ever really been properly hit bang on the shin? And I was listening to Dale's video yesterday, and he's running with Crawford. He was saying that Spence has switched off a bit, and he definitely has in certain times in his fights, especially against Jordanis Ugas. Well, there's never been any doubt over Errol Spence's chin. He will be getting hit more than ever in this fight. Let's see if these consistently huge weights cut him up. Yeah, he's not great. I didn't see it now. Bomac and Derek James. I heard people. I saw the verbals between Crawford and Spence, but not those two. Bivol got good, May he does. But for me, I'm off to the weigh-in. Lucky you, man. Lucky you. And speak of the devil, big up to Dell. How are you, man? Hope you're good, mate. Hope you're good. I hope you're not planning on going live too, mate. And I'm interrupting it. I'll only be doing a quick hour. I literally only be doing a quick hour. All right. But big up to Dell. Oh yeah, I didn't even read your question. I got Crawford from rounds 9 to 11. I think Spence lifestyle catches up with him. Was buzzed by Danny Garcia and you guys. If that happens again, I suspect. But it ends it. Yeah. And that's something we haven't talked about. Crawford is the older guy, but he's lived a cleaner lifestyle, certainly. Crawford KO. There was a rematch clause either way, so we may get a second fight depending on what happens. Yeah. That's certainly a real possibility. What's up, legends? Spence was rocked, but Jordanis Ugas didn't drop. He took better power shots from Porter and Ugas at their prime and has never dropped. Kavalauskas dropped Crawford with the body shot. Be interesting. Yeah, he will. He'll move up to 126 straight away. Crawford, 11th round. What's your opinion on Usyk Dubois? I'm going to see it live in Poland. I think he stops him. Yeah, I think Usyk will stop Dubois. I think he does. Crawford TKO. Interesting odds. Yeah, I went back and forth a few years ago, mate. I was kind of in my head. I was like, would it be Spence? And then it was like, would it be Crawford a few years ago? I think if this had been 2019, pre-crash, I would probably edge towards Spence. I would agree with you on that. I probably would make Spence slight favourite. Love the channel. Big up to Dean. I've been going for Crawford by KO up to yesterday until I saw the press conference. Now I'm thinking Spence. Spence looked really calm and confident. Interesting. I actually think Spence might win comfortably. I feel the fight won't be as interesting as people think. Interesting. You know, it's funny, right? There's a lot of people, right, I'm seeing who, if they think it's Crawford winning, they think Crawford stops him. But I think if Spence wins, they think Spence will win it quite easily. To be fair, Spence win in the early rounds, but I think Crawford is still a step above Spence in ring IQ, shot selection, patience, and timing. He would KO Spence in 11 rounds. Not far. I don't really rate Johnny Fisher. Never got rocked by Gamboa, which he did. Mean Machine, which he did. He definitely gets touched a lot. I can see Crawford being sharp for the first 5 rounds. Then the 35-year-old Crawford gets taken into deep water. Yeah, but how will Spence fare against someone like this? And yeah, Jordanis Ugas did hurt him. I actually want to buy this fight, not sail to sea, but TNT had made it difficult to buy the damn thing. Yeah, it's a bit weird. Like, you'd have to be a BT Sport or TNT subscriber to get this fight. It is a bit strange. Errol has never faced a puncher like Crawford. Imagine if Kell Brook didn't fight Golovkin, he probably would have beaten Spence. I think Spence would have always given Kell Brook. I'd have picked him. I'd have picked Errol Spence over Kell Brook regardless of the Crawford fight. Who do you ultimately side with, Bud or Spence? I'm going with Bud. Yeah, Bomac is, I mean, he is like Johnny Fisher's dad, the American style. I mean, he is a unit. Jesus Christ, he's a unit. I see Spence in bad head slots enough of the time. I suspect Bud can tag him. drinking, eye surgery, etc. Yeah, he's had a lot of. Has the weigh-ins actually happened? Well, I thought the weigh-ins would be a bit later in the day. So if the weigh-ins have happened, okay. Have the weigh-ins happened? I wasn't even aware that the weigh-ins were going on yet. Oh, yeah, they have. You're correct. Thank you. Yeah, both guys inside the weight. 147 for Spence, 146.8 for Crawford. We are all set to go, lads. Well, actually, I think that's the ceremony. The real weigh-in is later, but they've been doing that a lot over the last few years, weighing them in first thing. I've not looked yet. I bought it yesterday. I've never really had issues with either of them, so I couldn't really tell you. Sir Alex Ferguson, the truth will prevail. Lost a few steps. Crawford will start outclassing Spence in the second half of the fight, and he'll KO him in the 11th. A lot of people going with Crawford late. I got Crawford by decision like G-Man, but I wouldn't tolerate Spence slander, LOL. Got Crawford day one. He's been picking him. Spence has excellent fundamentals. His jab very consistent, and Bud has a tendency to lose early rounds. I think it is imperative that Spence wins the early rounds. If he is chasing the fight from early, then he gets desperate. That's when he gets caught. That's actually a very good point. If he is chasing the fight, what might actually happen? It's 19.99. Yeah, it's 30 flipping euros over here. 30 euro is how much I pay for it. I'd like to see anyway get undisputed and make a few defenses, then get a body of work at 122. I'd love to have seen him versus Wilfred Gonzalez. Oh, man. The Spence appeared to be rocked by a rather innocuous shot from Bukas. He was switched off. He was really switched off in that round. And yeah, it is a bit of a worry. I ain't gonna lie. It is. Spence fans, by any chance. Crawford leaned back to counter against southpaws, and if Spence can take that little step in, he might catch Crawford leaning back. You're going with Spence to win by KO. I think you're the first person who's picked Spence by KO. Chisora versus Arsenal back might be a good shout. Good Lord, no. Arsenal back Makhmedov? Oh, man, I don't want to see that. I don't want to see that. Yeah, I'm sure you can still get a pay-per-view. Spence has been cleared, but apparently no formal announcement from UCAN, and we still don't know on what grounds he's been cleared. Seems dodgy to me. The more I've looked into this, the more I'm thinking it's probably a backdated ban. I think even in one of the statements that I seen, it said that he failed his first test on the 25th of July last year, and it's the 28th of July today. I reckon it's a backdated ban. I reckon that's what UCAN will come out and say, that he's not been cleared per se, but we've given him a year backdated ban to July of last year, in which case he's not cleared, but he's cleared to fight, if that makes sense. That's what I reckon it's going to be. And I wouldn't start going and thinking, oh, this, no. I reckon it's what UCAN will do is they'll come out and say, we haven't cleared him of any wrongdoings. We're giving him a backdated ban till July last year. Boom, end of. There's the situation is over. That's what I think is going to happen. It's also fascinating to me the Americans and non-Americans factor in the car crash. Americans don't care after the Garcia fight. He's fine. Think it will catch Spence someday. Yeah, it's a weird one. Yo, Sean, big up. I think Crawford looked a little drained. Take off the beard, he'll be looking like a skeleton. Yeah, I feel like based off the styles of these two fighters, it's almost guaranteed Bud will start slow and take the early rounds, download the data. Interesting. Chisora versus Bryan would be good. Not even sure if Bryan's even still fights though. Well, Bryan Jennings. What was I saying? I just saw Bryan. Bryan Jennings, never a big puncher, but a decent fighter. No, he was never amazing, but decent. He was meant to fight Rivas for the Bridgerweight title, but he didn't go ahead with that fight, obviously, because the fight was going to take place in Canada. They had entry requirements that meant that you needed the old Larry Holmes, or you'd have to quarantine, which meant that Bryan Jennings' camp would be completely just stopped. So he couldn't do that. So he pulled out. He stuck by his principles, and big up to Bryan Jennings every time. You'd like to see him get one last payday. The Crawford knockout, I have seen the fight. has been competitive, and he lands a monster shot, a bit like the Jose Benavidez fight. Does Crawford retire immediately after him and Spence have their fight? He'll probably carry on a little bit longer. There, James said to Bomac, you got to make it. Yeah, he's a unit, all right. It's interesting. I still think Eubank would have won that fight. I think Crawford will stop Spence in round 10, but I wouldn't be shocked if Spence stops him either. Also, Keyshawn Davis, Frank Martin finally face off in person. That's an interesting one. Can Keyshawn... Martin's a good fighter. Keyshawn Davis is pretty damn special. I seen they both made weight. Call me crazy, mate, but I have a feeling Spence will stop him late. Listen, I don't consider that crazy at all. You know, I don't think we'll get a stoppage by either guy, but it wouldn't shock me if we did, if you know what I mean. It's kind of that way. It's kind of that fight where anything could kind of happen, but I think the most likely scenario is either guy wins on points. For me, that's the most likely. Now, I could be wrong, but I reckon that is probably the most likely if that in fact happens. You know, but I'm looking forward to it. Like, you know me, like I've been looking forward to this fight for a while. And if you could, smash the like button as well, lads. 86 of you now in the building. 86 of you now in the building. And we're only 48 subs away. There's another subscriber in the meantime. So we're at 11,952. So 48 until we're at 12k. So if you haven't already, hit the like button. Boost your boy up in the algorithms. Help me out here. And let's get us to 12k by the end of the weekend. Can't give easy road. More comments came in there. Even a slim chance. What super matchup do you want after this? 2 fights come to mind. 2 fights, and they're both for undisputed. Shock horror. Usyk versus Fury and Beterbiev versus Bivol. Do you know what, right? Both of those fights are not happening for very different reasons. Fury is ducking Alexander Usyk. He's being given carte blanche by the WBC. And the WBC are stopping us from getting Bivol versus Beterbiev. For stupid reasons. Absolutely ridiculous. Welcome to boxing. I do hope Spence wins. I prefer his style. I like Spence's style as well. You know me, I'm a big Spence fan. I don't mind admitting it. I don't really care who wins, but I want it to live up to expectations. Also, the undercard is damn good. Yeah, Showtime have a... But you got a big Showtime up. They really do pull out all the stops on the undercards. They always seem to put on quite good undercards. You got to pick them up for that. Are you staying up all night Saturday and watching the whole card? Well, I won't be watching the whole card live, but I will be staying up for it. And I'll do... I will probably go live at the start of the co-main, which I think is Nonito Donaire. So I'll probably go live for that. At least that way it's straight into the main event. And hopefully it's not a long ring walk and stuff like that. And yeah, we'll go from there. I haven't done an all-nighter for a long time. It's been a while since I've done an all-nighter now. And they're a lot less regular now than they used to be. I wish I was doing live watching alongs back in a couple of years ago when I used to do them a lot more frequently. I don't do them as free. This is the first one I've done this year. And I will probably do Canelo versus Charlo. But after that, I can't think of another one I'll do this year. So do I. Can't see either sticking around for Ennis. No, man. And there'll be vacant titles at 154, and Ennis is going to clean that division up. Right. I don't think either guy gets dropped in this fight, or hurt maybe, dropped. No. People just thinking both are like their other opponents, but both are elite. Yeah, I can see either guy getting hurt, but I don't think as well they'll be stopped. Crawford is Bookie's favourite. Is he? Interesting. The Errol who shall not be named is so aggravating. I have Callum Smith knocking out Beterbiev. I don't think Callum Smith's going to knock Beterbiev out. I'd say Jake Paul will win that fight. I mean, Nate Diaz is what he is. I agree. Fury is stuck in Usyk. I genuinely believe Usyk outboxing will make him look useless at times. Clearly, he must see something too. Otherwise, he wouldn't take the fight. I think it's... Look, I would be picking Fury to win that fight personally. But I think Fury knows it's a difficult fight. He knows his body is not what it was. And he knows that Usyk style-wise could cause him problems. And I'm sure he knows that about a lot of other contenders. I don't think he's stupid. I think he knows that he's not the fighter he once was. And I think that for him, it's a case of, all right, the right style, yeah, I'll take it. But a style like that, which I might have to work extra hard, there's no guarantee I'll win, I ain't going to take it. And to be honest with you, I don't, like, for me, it's a case of you'll get a lot of money for Alexander Usyk, and Fury is near the end of his career anyway. Does he really think he'll lose any earning power if he loses? I don't think he will. Not that much. Yeah, Showtime are brilliant. Yeah, Pitbull's is on a good card in the undercard. He is. I like Pitbull. How do you think, how big do you think the effect will be when Devin Haney and 147 winners relinquish their belts? You'll see a lot of people picking up the scraps. Is Pitbull? Okay, well, Pitbull is good. I think I'm done with the YouTube boxing community after this. Take some time off, but I would come back to see Shakur become undisputed and Inoue versus Tapalas. Even the G-Man, really excited for this. I want a great fight and fair judging, like we all do. Yeah, I'm running with Beterbiev in that one. Oh, man, he absolutely, like, Conor Benn would get his head taken clean off his shoulders. Isaac Cruz opponent looks ready to cause an upset. It's always the unknown guys that spring a surprise through that. I really don't know. I probably would just favour Adelaide, but I couldn't really say yay or nay. Yeah, if you could, smash the like button, lads. And if you haven't already, hit subscribe. Help your boy. We want 12k by the weekend. As we want 12k by Monday morning. Fingers crossed we get it. It'd be nice. 12k it's a nice number. Obviously, the 15 would be nicer, but 12k is another milestone to tick off. Yeah, the fanboyism for the this fight on YouTube isn't crazy. They are both incredible fighters, for all the disrespect both ways. Man, Tim Tszyu is going to do some. He is going to do some damage at that weight. Yeah, I would make Fury slight favourite. It's hilarious how Fury is trying to age out someone who is only 18 months older than him. That's exactly what he's trying to do, I think. I think that's exactly what he's trying to do. He's waiting to see some deterioration. That's what Canelo did to Golovkin. And I like Canelo, but that's what he did. As soon as Danny Jacobs, and I thought Danny Jacobs won that fight. As soon as he had that fight, boom, I'm having it. Makes a massive amount of money from Ngannou, who fights and bounces. He's retiring. I hope so. I hope he just frees up that belt. God damn it. We ain't seeing Fury fight Usyk this year. Boils my kidneys. Yeah, I know. It's BS, man. And you know, like it's strange. As I said in the video I did the other day, Fury and his fans, it's a real case of like attracts like, because Fury barefaced lies. They barefaced lie. When you see somebody comments, they leave. And it really is a case of like attracting like with those guys. Like, it really is. It genuinely is that. The only person who can beat Beterbiev is Bivol. Yep. Yeah, I'd fancy Adelaide. It gun to my head, Adelaide. I've never really been madly impressed with Adelaide, but nor have I really been that impressed with Wadley. So it's a real case of who do I think is better of the two. I would say probably Adelaide. I would say he'd probably go further, so I'd be picking him. But it could go, that fight could go either way, to be honest with you. I would probably just edge Adelaide. Is ready for guys like Franklin. I don't think Top Rank do. And probably give him another couple of fights, and yeah, I'd stick him in there with him. I'm going to go with Spence as KO. As Crawford has the weaker chin, but Bud is the better technical boxer. Interesting. The one you want to see. Well, that's definitely what they're going to look to do. If Spence wins and they don't do the Crawford rematch, next year we'll get Canelo versus Spence. 100%. What do you want to see? Who do you want to see Ben fight now that he's been cleared? Feeding to Ennis, I wouldn't mind seeing him fight Stanionis because he deserves a big fight after the 3 Ortiz fight. Yeah, that's a good point. Stanionis definitely been screwed around. They wouldn't feed him to Ennis just yet. He'd get annihilated by Jaron Ennis. They'll look to probably match him against Victor Ortiz or Robert Guerrero or someone like that. They'll do an easy fight, comeback fight. And then I really don't know. I wouldn't be shocked if Hearn cashes Ben out in the next couple of fights. Wouldn't surprise me too much. Yeah, well, I wouldn't rule out AJ becoming champion again. Fury is making is that it's hilarious, isn't it? It's literally like it's just the amount of BS that comes out of one man's mouth is just like bizarre. On a close discussion, Crawford gets the nod due to his previous. I'd probably go with Price, man. Marciano today would be a super middleweight. Like he was a heavyweight who weighed 180 something pounds. He's a super middleweight and he cuts. He wouldn't get near Pricey. I don't think anyway. Yeah, it's a weird. That's actually a good. That's a strange one. I didn't see that one coming. Golden Boy have Davis again. Didn't see it coming. Maybe they're hoping to have him as an opponent for Garcia. I don't know. I genuinely wasn't expecting that. Yeah, it was Franklin is what Franklin is. Yeah, I thought Sokolowski won that fight. Spence has no chance against Canelo, to be fair. Yeah, I wouldn't be picking him. I wouldn't. I sure as shit wouldn't pick him. Everything Fury says is BS, even the mental health stuff. I don't believe a word he says. He cares about nothing else besides money. Yeah, I don't believe it either. Like, Fury says stuff like, he does videos where he's talking about you shouldn't drink alcohol. And then you see a picture of him. There he is, pointing innocent hand. Like, what? I understand. Like, look, I'm a very social drinker. I don't think you should drink alcohol frequently, like regularly, like too regularly, because it can have bad effects on you physically and mentally as well to an extent. But I'm not going to turn around and be like making videos talking about you should never drink and this, that, and the other, and then you see me, I've got a picture of Guinness in my hand, or saying you should be kind to everyone, and then you're calling the guy a rabbit in the next video. Canelo will have to get through the Charlo fight first. I'll be picking Canelo handily over Jamel. Yeah, he's super middleweight. I'm gonna go with Bentley. I'm gonna go with Bentley in that fight. Round 5 KO. And yeah, definitely smash that old like button. If you could, smash the old like button. I keep wondering why people are saying Spence or Crawford could move up and fight Canelo. I don't know myself. Like, it's a weird one, but look, it's a money fight. At the end of the day, that fight would sell big time. So I can see why they want to do it. Everyone involved gets well paid, really well paid. So I can see for that sense why they're going to do it. Everyone gets really well paid. And again, if you could, lads and lasses, smash the old like button. Definitely give your boy a help your boy out. Another sub. Boom. Growing every single time. Spence by stoppage. 11 rounds. What do you think Simon Jordan will say on Ben being cleared? That's the good question. It's going to be interesting to see what he says on Conor Ben being cleared. The Ben situation is an interesting one. I've talked about several times, and I said, look, the decision's out. It is what it is. If he's cleared, he's cleared. Happy out for him. At the end of the day, a lot of people, he would be better off just doing the villain stuff from now on, because that's how a lot of people are going to see him. And, well, wait, let's see what he does. I'm not expecting much from him in terms of him winning world titles and shit like that. But, hey, look, let's see. I don't think Fury's will ever fight someone in the top 10 again. I hope you're wrong. And yes, smash that old like button. Where does Joe Joyce go after Zhang batters him in September? I wouldn't necessarily say he's going to batter him, but if he loses, well, I mean, there you go. Think Eubank can get revenge? I do. It's going to be tricky, but he definitely has the attributes, and I definitely think he could do it. Yeah, wouldn't rule it out. Talking of alcohol, have you had a pint of Kilkenny? No, I've never tried it. I think it's a stout, isn't it? I've never tried. I know what it is, but I think it's a stout or something. I've never tried it. Love it in Dublin, but you can't get it in the UK. You can't get it in. I know the drink you're on about. I'm pretty sure it is a stout. Most pubs wouldn't serve that in Dublin anyway. I mean, you might get it in town, in Dublin City, but you don't get it in really many pubs outside of it. Again, like I don't really go pubs and stuff like that, but I very seldom do it. It's not really it's not really for me. Like I don't really like doing that, and like I said, I don't really drink at all. Like I haven't, like probably nearly a month since the last time I had a sip of any alcohol, and I'm not really fussed if I have a anytime soon either. So it's not something I really get into or long for, to be honest with you. I know is the answer. I've never tried Kilkenny. I know of it, but I've never tried it. I'm pretty sure it's a stout. Pretty sure it is. For not fighting Vidal Riley, man, I'd be making Vidal Riley a heavy favourite over Tommy Fury. I think he'd beat the crap out of him. When you said Kilkenny is misheard for coke. No, they're very different, man. Kilkenny is a county and there's a drink named after it. But Kilkenny and they sound nothing alike, like man. They sound literally nothing alike. No, I never tried it though. Again, I'm not really a stout drinker. I have the odd pint of Guinness now and then if I know it's going to be a nice one, but it wouldn't be something that I would routinely go for. If I was to drink, I'd be more a beer drinker. But saying that, I'm very picky about the beers I drink as well. Like I pretty much only drink Moretti. It's the only beer that I really properly like. I would not drink like at least it's gonna sound real arrogant. I wouldn't drink a cheap beer. Like I couldn't drink a Coors or something like that. It's just disgusting. Yeah, I've sparred in the past. I haven't sparred now since 2020. Probably won't be doing it again. And I was never the best anyway, but I never had the discipline either. Not discipline in the sense of diet and stuff, but I love going to a weight gym, but I hate going to a boxing gym. Not hate it, but I could just never get as up for it as I could just going to a weights gym. Simon Jordan, well, he asked the tough questions if it's not Frank Warren. Are you doing a watch along? We are indeed. We are indeed. We are indeed. I have to thumbnail ready. I'll probably upload it. I'll probably set up the watch along this evening. Probably do it after this live stream is over. Maybe a little bit after, but we'll set it up. It might have been me misunderstanding your accent because I'm Canadian. And don't say you're not that, but you are Canadian, definitely. You're not that though. Yeah, no, like some people have heard me say things and they've like been like completely different. It's like I didn't say that, and it's like they obviously you can tell back when you listen to it back, you're like, oh, you didn't say that, but it's like I thought you said this was this. It's like what? Like how did you like? Did they sound that different? Oh, I think AJ's winning. Yeah, definitely. How far do I think I could have gone? I don't know. That's the thing. I don't know because anytime it was weird, right? It's like imagine swimming against the current. You're never gonna quite get to where you need to go. Something's always pushing you back, and I guess that was kind of me because anytime I ever really did start to get really dedicated to it and started improving, something came up and just so to speak pulled me away. So it's hard for me to know. I know in 2020, at the start of the year, at the end of 2019, I was sparring really well. Like I was sparring good. I was doing good, and I was finding, I never really understood when people said you flow, but I got into a rhythm a couple of times in sparring where I did feel like, oh, this is flowing a bit, and it was getting good. Now that's not. I wasn't in there with like guys who were at elite level or anything like that. So that's just saying, you were flowing against guys of a lowish level and obviously level as well. So it's hard to say, but here in Ireland, I would have at least won an Irish title or a Celtic title. I would be very upset if I didn't even get a Celtic title because they're not hard to come by in Ireland, and they're definitely not hard to come by. They're certainly not hard to come by. I mean, you could fight a bloody journeyman in an 8-rounder and they'll put the Celtic title on the line. So at the very least, the Celtic, in terms of level, I don't know, maybe area, English, maybe. Which of the four kings will Crawford have the best chance against? Not Hearns, definitely not. Or Leonard, or Hagler, or Duran. I probably wouldn't pick him over any, to be honest with you. No. I wouldn't have picked him over Hearns. Tommy Hearns would have knocked Crawford out. Yeah, outboxing Tommy Hearns. Does Ireland have different accents? Yours is not like a McGregor one. Yeah, we're both from Dublin, but we're from different parts. He's from Crumlin, which is a dump, and it's more kind of inner city Dublin. And I'm from Swords, which is North Dublin, very North Dublin. So like, there's North Dublin, which is a dump, which is like Coolock, Finglas sort of areas, and then you go a bit further north, and it gets more rural, like a lot more rural. And I'm from kind of like, so I don't really think there is a Swords accent. Maybe there is. I don't know. Well, I've lived here my whole life and never noticed it. But yeah, I definitely don't sound like McGregor. There's a dub accent there, but it's not as, when you hear people with a dub accent like a John O'Carroll or Conor McGregor, you're hearing a North dub accent most times. Well, Crumlin's not really North side. It's, as again, inner city. It's a dump. But the accent does change. Like, if you hear a South Sider, their accent is quite different than a North Sider. And I would be North, but I wouldn't be like Coolock. For like, if you hear John O'Carroll, we sound very different, and we live about 20 minutes apart in terms of location wise, but we sound very different. You hear us both speak. I have AJ winning a lackluster decision. No, I think he'll KO him. I do. I think he'll KO him. I think I sound exactly like him. I don't think I sound like McGregor at all. Like, that's the thing. When people say, like, I don't think I sound like McGregor. I'm sure I pronounce words similar. We're both from Ireland, we're both from Dublin. Yeah, Dylan Moran. Yeah, I've seen Dylan. No, he's shit. He's shit. He's garbage. He's Morford, Dylan Moran. I've seen him fight and get stopped by a journeyman before over in America. He's garbage. Market will stop him. Yeah, I don't rate Dylan Moran too highly. I do sound like McGregor. Shout out to Notre Dame fighting Irish. Yeah. What do you think Loma will still do in the sport? Will he ever be undisputed? I don't know. I don't think so. Hey, May, how are you today? Pretty good, man. Pretty good. No complaints. We got a good fight on this weekend. I'm staying live for another little bit. Because what I'm gonna do is, unless Dell is in the chat and he wants to go live, what I'm gonna do is Jamie, Punch Perfect Boxing, is gonna do a live as well. I think he's doing it at 8:30. So I'm gonna stay live until he goes live himself. Excuse me. And then I'll just I'll drop a link to his live wherever it is. Yeah, it's there. I'll drop a link to his live in the chat. So if anyone wants to go over there, because I'll go over there straight after. So we're not kind of hitting in with one another. So Jamie can do his thing and I can do mine. Perfect. Think Crawford will win in the eyes of the fans, but Spence will get the nod. I hope that's not the case. Yeah, nothing like McGregor. I think you pronounce words similar. Yeah, McGregor. That's calm in interviews, but the voices aren't anything alike. Yeah, as I said, we're from very different parts of Dublin. Very different parts. I've only been Crumlin a couple of times my whole life. It's not a nice part. It's not a nice place. I wouldn't go there. There's a lot of places in Dublin not nice that I wouldn't go. A lot. It's a great fight. Looking forward to it. Yep. So am I. Dave Allen making a big mistake fighting Clark. Dave Allen, I just don't even know anymore with that guy, because that guy, he's going to end up with serious CTE. He's going to end up punchy as hell. I know exactly what he's going to do. He's going to come in. He's going to say it's different this time. He's going to weigh in about 260, not throw any punches, take a Hail Mary beating, retire, come back, have a few more fights, say he's a changed man, show a couple of before and after pics where he's grossly overweight and then thin again or slimmer, and then the same old stuff. And, Dave Allen, as I said at the start of this video when someone asked me, he had Eddie Hearn pushing him and giving him opportunities that he really didn't deserve. And what did he do with them? Nothing. So that's Dave Allen. And, I don't know why he's bothering with this fight. Like, honestly, it's just crazy. What time is the fight? I'd say about 4:30. And we'll be doing it live, of course. G-Man sounds like a more sophisticated. Sounds more sophisticated than McGregor. McGregor is like, as I said, McGregor, You see, with McGregor's scum. He is. And the way he behaves is how the scumbags in Dublin would behave. McGregor thinks because he's got money, it gives him class. It gives him nothing. He's got no class. You can't buy class. Right? And McGregor has none of it. So when you hear McGregor and he's like, yeah, buddy, I'm the man, welcome to Dublin, when I hear that accent, I'm like, oh, and in general, in Dublin, I'm just like, oh, God, one of these. That's what I'd be thinking, and that's exactly what McGregor is. Yeah, buddy, I'm from Crumlin. You understand, yeah? You want to go there, pal? Yeah, that your missus, yeah? Yeah, I really, and that's why I didn't go to the Katie Taylor press conference week, because I was like, I knew they'd be all there. I was like, I don't even want to be listening to that. Yeah, you do the old YouTube thing, my podcaster myself there, buddy. Got me me media pass, yeah. I don't know nothing about this boxing thing, but sure, look, it's Eddie Hearn over there, buddy. Honestly, like, I couldn't endure that. Holy shit, I could not endure that. No way. He will pull an Andy Ruiz. He will take a pasting and stuck in his stomach to convince people that, yeah, that's exactly what he'll do. That's exactly what he'll do. He will literally do that. I always go for the white guy. Yeah. That's a dub accent, man. That's a dub accent. That's what some of them are like. And that's what I would have. That's exactly what I saw in Fight Week with Katie Taylor. You people who didn't even know who some of the fighters were. They'd be like, that Gary Cully lad, who's he now? Is he a dub? No, he's from Kildare. He's from Nice. Ah, buddy, we want the dubs. Can they not get all the dubs on? Yeah. Yeah, your boy really wants to listen to all that. Would knock McGregor out in 5. Man, McGregor's garbage, man. Big up G-Man, always great breakdowns and boxing insight. Boom. Big up for that, man. Yeah, I appreciate that. Like, I don't even think it's that. I don't even think I'm like that insightful when it comes to it. I think one thing I've got going is I've got a very, very, very good memory. So I remember a lot of things about certain things, It's like I've always been good with dates. That's probably why I'm so good at history, because I'm just great with dates and information and stuff like that. I've always had a good memory about stuff like that. I've always been better at, like, reading something and memorizing it myself, rather than, like, if you show me it, like, and it's like you do bing 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 bing. I find that quite difficult at times, because it's just like, wait, what was first? But when it comes to like dates and stuff like that, like, I've always been great at that kind of stuff. As you'll know, if people ask me like history questions, I normally can normally name you a time and date and stuff like that. G-Man, if you got $1,000 to not watch this fight and never get to know the winner, would you do it? No. Not a chance, man. No amount of money could make me miss this fight. Ricky Summers, I consider him like a level above the Dex Spellmans of the world. But, there was rumors that it was going to be Joe Smith Jr. Not the case. Let's put it to the test. What date was Fury Wilder 3? I'm going to say October 9, 2021. I think it was. I think it was October 9, 2021. Let's put that to the test. Wilder Fury. I'm going to Google that. Wilder versus Fury 3. I think it was October 9th, 2021. And that was just off the top of my head, was it? Was it October 9th? Oh, yeah, boom. There you go. That's what I told you, man. Me and dates and stuff like that, I'm good with them. I'm pretty good with dates and stuff like that. October 9th, 2021. Your boy got it first time. And that ain't ever going to happen. Yup, that's correct. Boom. Ding, ding, ding. Yeah. And I'm good with dates and stuff like that. Like, I was always good at history. That's why I have an interest in history as well, a big interest in it. So that's why I've always kind of, when you read stuff and you see the dates and stuff like that, they just kind of, for me, I don't know why, it just sticks with me. I don't know why. That's why I'm able to, like, just kind of, when I'm thinking of a certain situation, I'm just like, boom, that was this, and this was him, and he fought this guy. It's the names more so that kind of, some of the names leave my mind. More so than the dates and stuff like that. Who picks up dog poo? Who picks up guy dog poo? Okay. Who's the boxer that has outgrown the weight class the most? It's got to be Yard or Spence. Yeah, Yard definitely. Well, probably Beterbiev. I hope not. I made the video. My pick, though, if you haven't watched the video, it's Crawford to win on points. It's Crawford to win a decision, a points decision. Terence, Bud, Crawford. That's who I think will win. One thing about the McKenna brothers, they're meh. You know, there's very few fighters in this country. Oh, and did you actually see Gary Cully is now being trained by Joe McNally? He's left Pete Taylor. No hard feelings, apparently, no animosity, but he's with Joe McNally now. Interesting move. He's training with the Smith brothers. And Callum Smith is with him. I thought he was with Buddy McGurk, but apparently he's with Joe McCormick as well. I don't eat donuts at all, mate. Like, so it's, I genuinely have no real sweet tooth. So donuts for me, it's like, no. I've never ate either of them, so I can't say which is better or which is worse. I don't have a sweet tooth at all. I wouldn't go for sweet foods at all, really. Yeah, he's another one. There's a lot of guys like that who've clearly outgrown their weight. Like Jared Hurd, when he was fighting at 154, like people made it out that he was pound for pound and stuff like that. All he was doing was just fighting guys way smaller than him. It was bizarre. Putting Hurd on a pound for pound list, and he's done literally nothing. He's fighting guys who are way smaller than him, and he's just moving forward and overpowering them. It's crazy. What's your favorite crisps? It's got to be a pack of McCoy's flame grilled steak. We like the McCoy's flame grilled steak. They're a good crisp. They're a good crisp. What would you rather, bend knees or packed keys? The rolling 60 crisps are my favorite. Yeah, Haney is another one as well. Lads, I'm going to call it now in a sec. But before I do, oh yeah, it is Irish. You can spell Irish, the Irish language. But it's not popular. Like, I speak virtually no Irish at all. Virtually nothing. You're taught it in school. I didn't have to do it, thank God. It's not easy. It's not easy at all. If there was ever a language I'd love to learn, it would probably be Italian. I'd love to learn Italian. Italian or French, one or the other. They're the two languages I'd love to learn. Probably Italian more so. But lads, I'm going to call it here. Lads, I hope you enjoyed it. Smash the like button if you could. Boom. Have a look in the chat box there, because I left the link to my mate Jamie's live. I'm going to go over there, as you can see there. Go over, Punch Perfect Boxing. Tell him G-Man sent you. I'll be over there now, and I hope you go over and join him too. For now, lads and lassies, I'll chat to you later, or tomorrow, or whenever there's news. But if not, we'll chat tomorrow. Well, I might do a post-fight review of some of the fights on Warren's card tomorrow, so we'll see about that. But for now, I'll leave you with that. I'll see you over on Punch Perfect Boxing channel. Peace.